Oh, welcome back, Gaming for XP. Back at Hangman's Alley, continuing the build here. We got a lot done in the last episode, and not much has changed since then. Today we're going to concentrate on getting some power into the settlement, and we're going to build an extra building up above us. So let's get started. Oh, dog meat just fell off the edge. Luckily it's him today and not me, but no doubt we'll rectify that later. So using these block pieces from Workshop Rearranged, I love these. If you've seen my laundrette build, I used some really nice pieces, and I will use them a little bit later in this build. Just putting them in here. Unfortunately I couldn't find a doorway, so I'm going to use the concrete tab for the doorway. I've spoken to the developer about potentially putting some doors in for us, so he's working on that now. Okay, but these concrete doorways snap right into place, and they don't look out of place either. I actually saw this spot here above on the roof, and I thought that it perfectly lends itself to having the generator in it. Use this stair here. It's a bit fiddly to get in, but I think it's worth it just to make it look something a little bit different to the normal step. And see, it fits in there nicely. Just lining it up. Nice, that works well. Now, I had a look at this when I came in here, and realised that nothing's going to sit on top of that, so I put a floor in here. And I advised to put the wood floors in here actually. What I end up putting in here causes me some problems, and you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. I do like the look of these floors, and it's consistent with what's downstairs. Let's that in. Just checking that it would fit into here. The perspective is a bit weird actually, because I'm trying to line it up, but as soon as I line it up at the front it goes out at the back, so really have to line it up from the back here, otherwise it just doesn't work. Take some time to get that right. The second one snap in, yes it will, nice. So floors in. Usual security mesh in, so this door, it actually fits perfectly in. It goes snaps straight in there. That's a nice area for the generator to sit in. We start building. Unfortunately, for some reason here, and I do fix it later on, I changed the generator in here that I can't access some of those. It had to do with the way that some of my mods were organised, so I have to go out and reorganise my mods. It fixes that. There is a mod for Xbox One. I'm not sure if it probably isn't allowed. PlayStation, I will check that, but it allows you to get all the perks. And although I don't use it when I'm doing gameplay, I use it for building, because it solves a lot of problems and saves you having to go out and quest and come back. So I use that specifically for building only. and it was just in the wrong place in the load order. So once I fixed that, I was able to get the fusion generator, and I will come back and show you that a little bit later in the build. So now I'm looking for these console towers. Now here's where I realised that this floor, these will not sit on top of these floors for whatever reason. So I actually have to keep going out, drop these pieces, go out and bring them back in. And I'll fall off that edge a number of times, by the way. Can't even make it up the ladders at the moment, or stairs, whatever you prefer to call them. These are great, these pieces here, fantastic. I like them for, especially for a power room, electrical room, whatever you want to put it where your generator is. And I will be doing a separate build on a generator room for that. I usually do that in settlement. Every settlement I build now, I have a separate room and have it tucked away that powers the whole settlement. I saw this corner piece and I thought it would work. Ultimately it doesn't. But you know what, you got to try these things. What I don't like is these corner pieces, there you go, fall off again, and I do that a couple of times because you need to grab these consoles a little bit closer. Can't be too far away from them. Grab them there. Yep, there we go. Good. Yeah, I just don't like how the size of that and the way it looks, so I end up scrapping that corner piece. It just doesn't work for me. Might work for you, you might like it, but for me, just I like the look of it. And you can see those pieces are clipping a little bit through the floor there, which is okay. I can live with that. Okay, so one piece is in. Now these are great, and you can actually get different colours of these console pieces, which is fantastic. So I'm going to put a desk in now. This is just purely a little area where somebody would be assigned to just keep an eye on the generator and make sure it's working okay. So I'll have a look at a couple of desks here. And I go for the scrappier, older looking one. I think it fits much better. Desk next to the door here. That's it. And I'll put that final console piece in. And you see how I grabbed it so far away, so you actually have to do that. Make sure that you grab those fairly close to yourself so that you can position them. Push it into place. Desk across a little bit so it's flush with it. There you go. Yep, works. There you go, you've got a nice little electrical room that will power the whole, pretty much the whole settlement. And once you get the fusion generator in, it will power everything. Nice quick little build there. Need to put a door in it, I guess. And I know specifically the door I want it, and I can't find it here, so I'm flicking around with the different doors. If anybody has the doors tab and has a few mods installed, you know that it's it can take you a while to find a specific door. Thank you to our Workshop Rearranged. He's done a great job at organising things for me, for us. So you don't have to go through multiple doors, and there's the one I want right there. There we go, fantastic. So we're done with that, I think. Pretty happy with that. Okay, so next project, what are we going to build next? Okay. Actually, I'm looking at that thinking that I've probably forgot to put a roof on there. See what to dog me. step back and have a think about what I want to do next. Yep. So I'm going to build it on that upper level. And you can see it's quite dark up here. It is sunny, but it gets quite dark, so I'm going to sleep for a bit, as you can see. Now it's early morning, but it's around 7 in the morning and it still looks quite dark, and it's all these buildings make this settlement look quite dark. So when you're building here, I'd advise you put a whole heap of lights in just to light it up a bit. So here we go. We're going to build a little bit of a greenhouse now. Obviously the settlers have to have some food somewhere, and if you've built here before, you know that can be quite a tricky proposition to find areas where you can actually plant food. So what I decided to do is actually build a separate greenhouse for people to grow food into. You have a few issues with these window pieces wanting to snap, the outside piece snapping in the inside and vice versa. These are great. I love these pieces here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They actually help me solve a problem, so I can just snap them around the corner. It closes the whole area. I think one more piece. Yep, excellent. You can see these steel pieces that are concrete pieces of flooring that are sitting down there, those white ones down to the left. If you need to block up the gaps in the floor, they for some reason are working extremely well in this build. Now I do have some fairly major issues, not only with the hole in the floor, okay, and I will fall through that once more, but also with the roof, and it's more to do with the actual shape of the overall structure than anything else, and so I have to go with another solution. See, that roof is not going to snap in there. It will snap in here, it won't snap on the other side, so I have to completely rethink what I'm going to do with this roof. And I do try here several things. There's a flat roof there, it doesn't work either. Nothing wants to snap there. And sometimes this is the thing that will happen with you, especially if you're building non-standard things in your settlements, non-standard buildings. That you get to the roof area and it just, for some reason, for whatever reason, it doesn't work. So just try things. That's my advice. Just try things. See what other building components are going to work. And here I find these roofs that tend to snap in here. So these pieces, for whatever reason, snap nicely into there. And that'll snap into the wall, but it wants to snap sideways for some reason. So it can be a bit of a struggle at times. It can be a bit of a struggle, but that's why we love the game so much, and that's what makes Fallout pretty unique, I think. So that's going to snap in there. What do you think? Struggle with it for a while. Oh, yes, thank you. So that works okay. Okay, so we got to try. Hang on, we're making progress here. We certainly are making progress. And the solution is right in front of me, but it takes me a while to figure it out, as usual. This can be extremely frustrating. Sometimes you need to walk away, come back, and go and have a cup of coffee or a drink and come back. Here we go. That works. There. Pull that across like that. Bang. Fix just fall down to the bottom level this time. It's never happened before. What are you doing, dog meat? That looks okay though. I like the look of that. What I've found as well, once you get onto that last level that we're on now, this level here, the third level, there is an upper limit of how high you can build, and I don't think I recorded it, but I certainly was playing around with that the other day and hit that limit, so I couldn't get a roof, couldn't get a physical roof on anything. So I'm thinking, like that gap so I don't fall down there again. And I will have a light bulb moment in a minute and figure it out. So I'm trying different floors, and this is what you have to do sometimes, is just to try and figure out what might snap in there. And here we go, we have a light bulb moment. Okay, why don't we use those walls there like we did on the other corner? That works. There we go. Let's use those. Why that snaps there and doesn't snap behind, I don't know, but yeah. And the second one will just snap straight in. So sometimes that it can be a bit strange how it reads and snaps and the collision and stuff, but just be persistent. It will go in. Sometimes with spinning them, as I've said before, spinning the parts. So now I'm looking for a specific type of table, and I know they're in here somewhere, and I'm going to have a good look around all the menus. Sometimes when you're not used to using certain elements, you forget where they are because there just are so many different elements that you use in a build, some more than others. And I don't know about you, but I do tend to forget where things are. No, it's not those. Oh, hang on, here we go. So pretty much what we're going to have to do with the greenhouse here is put planter boxes up here for the food. So if you've ever seen I'm just trying to think of the settlement. There was a settlement, I'll come back to it, that has a greenhouse in it. They all have tables sitting around, and these tables I end up swapping out because I find a better one. It's not Green Top, it's Green Top Nursery? Can't remember. It's been a while since I've went questing, guys, sorry. These tables, I actually prefer these. Now what you have to do, and I'll show you in the next vid, I think it's the next episode that we do, is what I have to do to get the planter boxes to actually sit on these tables. They're not quite the right size. So there we go for today, guys. Electrical room's in, the greenhouse is in for the food. I think that the progress is coming along quite nicely. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.